So futuristic Grand Theft Auto. Okay, jokes aside, yeah. So Cyberpunk, I don't. It's an RPG. It's an open world crime RPG developed by CD Projekt Red. Now, this game is infamous for two reasons. The first one being pretty good. It's made by the same guys that made the Witcher series, a fantasy RPG series that is widely beloved and one that um, it kind of made them really infamous. A lot of people like that game. So with this game being announced, I feel like a lot of people were hyped for this one. And the second, more disappointing one is that this game had such a bad launch. Now, these days, it's definitely better, but I think Cyberpunk will always be remembered for that. So, obviously, what are my thoughts on this game? Yeah, kind of skipping the story. It's not going to be a full review, but just kind of a quick video, just kind of explaining what I think about the game, and hopefully this review isn't too controversial. So, obviously, starting off with the story, uh, I would actually kind of say the story is actually pretty okay. I'd say after Jackie dies, the story kind of falls apart for me. I was quickly losing interest after that point. I obviously urged myself to keep going because I was thinking that okay, maybe the story's gonna pick up. I've had games with that, like the story just kind of gets a little dull in the middle. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it was one of those games. Chapter 6 through 10 kind of suck, but the other ones after that it definitely got a lot better and just wow. Um, so yeah. So the question is, was it one of those games? Kinda not. The ending I got was one of the bad endings. I still didn't like it. It was kind of cool. And obviously the parts with Johnny are pretty cool too. I think he was one of the coolest characters in the game. And honestly, them getting Keanu Reeves to be a voice actor in this game was a really smart decision. The epilogue that I got, honestly, the epilogue kind of sucked. It felt so unneeded. And just at that point, I was just wanting the game to be over. Gameplay, gameplay is not too bad. It's very interesting. There's a lot of RPG elements that do make this game a bit more interesting to play, and well, you can choose to ignore those or not. I I was focusing on them at I was focusing on them, but I was also just very much going in guns blazing. So whether or not this kind of affects the opinion of your playstyle or something, it's kind of really up to you. Either way, I think it's kind of cool that the game kind of lets you play in various different ways. Back to the story. I did like some of the characters. I do like some parts of the story. It's not completely bad, but just more so disappointing. Keep in mind, I'm saying this as someone who, like, this is the only Project Red game that I've ever completed. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Um, so after that, honestly, I guess how's the game's performance? The game's performance isn't too bad. I had a few bugs here and there. I think the game soft locked for me for a bit, which did affect my enjoyment. I I will definitely say I do feel that this game should not have bugs in this day and age because it's been out for so long, but unfortunately it still does, and it's something we gotta deal with. So honestly, I guess, well, how else do I feel about it? I like the graphics and I do like the music, but these ones aren't really enough to really make me want to replay the game. Overall, Cyberpunk 2077 is a decent but very flawed game. It does well in what it wants to do, but I feel like maybe it had a few too many ideas. That's just kind of my opinion because, well, then again, I'm not really too into the whole open world crime genre as I used to be. So I think that did affect some of my enjoyment of the game. But if they ever do make a sequel to this, personally, I hope it goes well. Because clearly they have a lot of ideas for this game, and it seems to have worked out for them. But as of course my thoughts on Cyberpunk. I will of course be back possibly next time with a review of Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty World War II. So stay tuned for those, and I will see you all next time, and have a wonderful night.